Join me for ground 225 and 226. This weekend I'm heading to Trieste and then going to Udinese vs Bologna before then heading to Slovenia for Slovenia's eternal derby, Maribor vs Olimpija Ljubljana. Just drove down for about 3 hours and then got airport parking. There's 2 of us on this trip, so it cost about 25 quid. Flights to Trieste, return were only 34 quid, so absolute bargain. And then of course the best thing about flying out of Stansted, get pre-flight spoons. We've arrived at Trieste Airport, which is probably one of the smallest airports that I've ever actually landed at. Absolutely tiny. The flight was completely empty and it was £34 return, so it's clearly not a very desirable destination. And now I just need to get the bus to Udine, which I don't think is a very popular tourist destination, but I think that's a great way to travel to see different parts of a country. Now we've got an hour on the bus to head from Trieste Airport to Udine. And look at this Christmas light display that you've got going on over the main square here in Udine. It's really nice, like festive celebrations, can't knock it. First impressions of Udine is this is a really quiet city, not a lot going on, but this is really nice around here. Just got random like earthquake measuring equipment and some really nice like art on the wall there. Yeah, pretty cool area. Just gone up to the top of Udine Castle and look at the views that you've got of the Alps in the distance. You can also see the football stadium right there in front. Absolutely stunning views, and also just about to get a pint up here. So we are approximately 2 hours from kickoff. We're walking from Udine Centre to the ground, which is roughly 55 minutes, doing a couple of pub stops along the way. We're at the Blue Energy Stadium, the home of Udinese. We're at the Blue Energy Stadium, the home of Udinese, as they take on Bologna in a Serie A game. The fixture is looking like a pretty tasty one, with Bologna having a good season in 5th place in the division. Udinese, lower down the table in the bottom half, will be looking to get a home win to transfer their form. I'm interested in this fixture as a Stafford Rangers fan, as in 1976, Stafford Rangers actually played at Udinese, losing 6-2 away, but were victorious 3-2 at Marston Road. So this is a fixture with a bit of sentimental value to me. A couple of years ago, we also played Monza in the same tournament, and I went to Monza versus Udinese. And here we are. It's hard to imagine that back in 1976, Stafford, who are now in the 8th division of English football, were playing against Udinese in their old stadium. It was actually 1976 when Udinese moved to this new stadium. I don't think it looked like this back then, but it's a beautiful modern stadium. You cannot beat the flag displays in Italy, some of the best football fans in Europe. And we got VAR for a potential penalty for Bologna to open the scoring. So, just seen a replay of it, and that is absolutely never a penalty, but the referee's given it. Oh! Yes! Come on! He's 0-0. Massive save right at the brink of half time. Still 0-0 before half time. We're in minutes of stoppage time. Poor back pass led to Orsolini being through on goal, and he's put it in the back of the net. But it's thankfully offside. Still 0-0 going into the break. So it's half time here at the Blue Energy Stadium, and it's 0-0 between Udinese and Bologna in this Serie A fixture. Udinese have probably been the better team out of the two and have had the better chances, but the biggest moments have come for Bologna in this game, with a penalty that is very, very dubious, that watching the replay I do not think should have ever been given. But Orsolini's penalty was saved, and then also Orsolini scored a goal but was actually ruled for offside. So we're still 0-0 moving into the second half. But on the balance of play, I would say Udine have probably been deserved of a goal in this game, and I'm hoping second half that they can get a victory for the home team. And that's now 1-0 to the away team. Bologna have scored. Pobega in the midfield. It's a great goal, to be fair. Edge of the box. They've cut inside, passed it. Short pass to him from the outside, and he's curled it into the far corner. 1-0 to Bologna. And it's 2-0 to Bologna. That's a major mistake from the goalkeeper. A pass that he should never have made. Criminal. He had simple options on, and now it's 2-0 to the away side. Bologna 2, Udinese 0. And it's another defensive mishap at the back for Udinese, and that makes it 3-0 to Bologna. It's come through Federico Bernardeschi, the ex-Juventus and Toronto man, and that is enough for some of the home fans who are heading out of the stadium. 90th minute, 3-0, game's done. But no matter what in Italy, even at 3-0 down, you've got the ultras still waving the flags. You can hear the boos ringing around the stadium, and you can hear the Udinese fans boo as they fall to a 3-0 defeat at home. And this is what football can do. You can see the Udinese players absolutely gutted, the boos ringing out, the ultras still waving their flags, and then as a polar opposite, you've got the Bologna players in jubilation, and their fantastic away support, although not the most vocal, still there in their numbers, cheering their players on. And that completes the first of 2 ground hops on this European ground hop journey that I'm completing this weekend. That finishes Bologna with 3-0 away winners. A really disappointing result for the home side. We were expecting a lot more from this game, and I was expecting a better performance. We move on to Maribor tomorrow in Slovenia. My first game in Slovenia, Slovenia's eternal derby, Maribor against Olimpija Ljubljana. When booking this trip, I did not realise how much of a logistical nightmare it would actually be to tick off the fixture that I've just gone to and the main fixture that I wanted to head to this weekend, Slovenia's eternal derby. So the only way that I could actually do this is through a quarter to midnight Flixbus from Udine to Maribor. So this is a direct bus that takes around 4.5 hours, which means I'm not going to get to Maribor till about 4 in the morning. Book one night's accommodation, which was roughly 25 quid in a hostel, to then check out at 10 a.m. So it's going to be another long night and a rough one tomorrow, but hopefully the fixture will be well worth it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the atmosphere that the Slovenian football eternal derby has to offer. So 4 hours on a Flixbus later, we've arrived in Maribor. It's currently 4 a.m, so checking into the hostel, get a couple of hours sleep, and then it'll be time to check out, leave our bags, and it'll be match day. So it's now just under 3 hours to kick off in Slovenia's eternal derby. We're now checking out the city and seeing what Maribor has to offer. It seems like quite a quiet town and not very touristy, which is really good to see. And look at this around here in one of the main squares in Maribor. You've got the Christmas market being set up. Really quiet, people getting their breakfast. Good stuff. And we've stumbled into the Maribor FC club shop, which is unfortunately closed, but I'm hoping that they'll have a club shop open at the ground and I'll be able to pick up a pin badge. Also got this other square with a Ferris wheel, and then this is all just located just by the river. And you just can't knock the view on the riverfront here. So just trying some of the local food. You've got a savap here, which is like a flatbread with like meat inside, and then comes with this like kajmak, which is like a Turkish clotted cream that's really, really nice. So half time, that's Maribor 1, Olimpija Ljubljana 0. Maribor definitely the better of the two sides, but have definitely been caught on a couple of counter-attacks where the goalkeepers had to make a brilliant save. And then in the last minute, Olimpija Ljubljana had a free kick which they whipped in. Goalkeeper flapped at it, but they managed to keep it out of the net. And it's still 1-0 to Maribor, who certainly look like the side that are asserting their dominance and look like the better team who, as the table suggests, are in second place this season. 6 minutes into the second half, Maribor put the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-0, but the linesman's flag was up. Stays 1-0. Maribor 1, Olimpija Ljubljana 0. Just minutes after the Maribor disallowed goal, Olimpija Ljubljana equalised. Simple ball in the box, free header, 1-1. Ten minutes to go, and Olimpija Ljubljana are down to 10 men, and it's a dangerous free kick for Maribor. And that's full time in Slovenia's eternal derby. That's Maribor 1, Olimpija Ljubljana 1. Maribor were definitely the better of the two sides, and will feel the more disappointed of the two teams to only get a point in this fixture. One thing's for sure, though, is people probably don't give Slovenia the credit as a footballing nation, but the atmosphere in this ground today has been absolutely electric from both sets of fans, with fireworks, flares, smoke bombs. If you're into ultra football culture in Europe, then you need to get yourself to this derby.